Because
Yes.
I found that, there's not a lot of young people that come here anymore. They have it too good in Italy.
All right, hello everybody. We're here, XR Podcast, episode 7. We got me, Greg, and we got a super special guest, Frank DiPiero from Harlem. He's the king of Harlem. You see him all over Harlem Avenue, and he's got his own podcast as well.
Yeah.
So, Frank, welcome to episode 7.
Well, thank
Welcome,
you.
Frank.
Thank you. And congratulations on this beautiful office. Thank you for staying on Harlem Avenue. This is like awesome that we have Harlem behind us with the windows. I mean, honestly, this couldn't be any better. This really couldn't.
I know we couldn't get this podcast going. We were talking, so I felt like I just did a podcast. We started talking. We haven't stopped since you walked in the door.
I know. We just talked for probably 2 hours before we started taping.
Yeah, I think we did, right?
Yeah.
No.
So, Frank, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who you are, a little bit about what you do, and
Okay,
not everything you do, but
Right. Well, born, raised, lived near Harlem Avenue my whole life, so it's very, it's in my heart. My wife has had a hair salon, Ivana DiPiero Hair Studio, on Harlem. In August, makes 32 years.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen that sign forever.
Yes, exactly. I always say it. I mean, like her or not, her name's been up in lights for 32 years on Harlem.
It's a landmark. Almost.
I think my niece worked there too at some point.
I believe so.
You know?
Yeah, quite a few.
Nice
Quite a few Italian girls have come and gone as shampoo girls, and so many memories. So so this is great, and thanks for letting me be a part of this and the neighborhood. And I do a podcast. Keeping It Real with Frankie D. It's an Italian-American podcast. I'm at ItalianAmericanLife.com. I'm very into, preserving our culture, our people, molding the future because there's a need. Because this is not 1970 anymore.
I know.
And things are different. So we kind of need to do that. And I'm trying.
You do a great job. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
you
you.
do a really great job.
Thank you.
That's how I found out about you. Like I never met you, like of course before here, but I found out because I'm Italian, first generation. I was raised there, and just looking stuff online, and you're great. You got a great podcast going.
Thank you.
And you embrace the Italian culture, and you try to maintain it, and keep it alive. Because
Yes.
I found that there's not a lot of young people that come here anymore. They have it too good in Italy, Frank. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No.
yeah, but I'm saying like I love everything you do for the community.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you. And we just tried, via dinners.
Yeah.
Movie nights, genealogy things,
Correct.
anything we can, language classes, anything and everything.
So, Frank, let me just, for a lot of people that didn't grow up around here, let's start off by saying, okay, if someone comes to Chicago, they Google Little Italy, Taylor Street comes up, right? Explain Harlem Avenue.
Okay.
You can start from back in your day.
Google says Taylor Street.
Yeah, Google
The
said
city
Taylor
of
Street.
Chicago formally dedicated this area.
Wow.
Chicago's Little Italy with brown street signs, which we all know the brown signs are the honorary dedicated signs.
Correct.
I believe that there is a Via Santa Fara di Cinisi
There is.
on Addison,
There is.
3 blocks west of Harlem, by the alderman's office. Yeah. There's one there, and there's one in Cinisi, outside the city hall.
Yep.
So I believe around 1990, 91, I believe that's when the founding father of the area, Gino Bartucci, got the city of Chicago to dedicate it, Chicago's Little Italy.
That's
Basically from Grand Avenue, and for those of you in the inner city, Grand runs on an angle going west. And when it's running on this angle, it's going north. So the Grand Avenue in Damon and the Grand Avenue in Harlem are two different things.
Two different things.
So
That's right.
Grand is what? 100 north of Harlem?
2500 north on Harlem.
Right by Caputo's.
Right by Caputo's, yes. So from Grand Avenue in Harlem, which is the corner of Caputo's. Going northbound up to, say, Foster, which is 5200 north.
Correct.
And then maybe going little east and a little west off of Harlem on, let's say, Diversey, Belmont, Addison, Irving,
Yeah.
Montrose, and Lawrence, you will find to this day, May 4th, 2023, in the year of the Lord, a numerous amount of Italian businesses, Italian-owned
Yep. Still
today.
here.
So for those that think like,
Yeah.
that's a thing of the past, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
no,
it's
it's not.
still very vibrant,
Yeah.
and it's still a great thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's also like Italians, like they came first generation. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have like, Camarda that's straight from there. Technically myself too.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like there's a lot of us around the
Absolutely.
area. So,
and I mean, speaking of
it makes it
Caputo's,
special.
Grand in Harlem, they are building a brand new
Yes,
store
they are.
on Montrose in
Sure,
Harlem.
yes.
So I mean, that just even tells me like,
Yeah.
they're keeping Grand in Harlem.
They are.
So from 25 to 44,
Yeah.
19 blocks north, they're building a brand new store and investing in the neighborhood because the neighborhood is strong.
Yeah, and their Mariano's is around the corner for competition, but I think they have no fear. They're going to do well.
And besides that, what I love even better is just all the mom and pop places.
Yeah,
That's something we
right.
got so many.
Little-
I mean, we're
little
blessed with-
boutiques.
We got a lot of them here. And
We have quite a few,
we
and you
got a lot
gotta
of
you
bakeries.
gotta
We got at least
patronize.
three, 4, 5, 6 bakeries. We got a lot of like delis
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Now, granted, back in the 90s, there was 10, 12 little Italian
Yeah,
stores.
yeah.
I get it. It's not that anymore, but there still are some,
There's still some.
Yeah.
surrounded by these big ones.
Because you grew up here
Yes,
as well,
yes.
besides the business and everything.
100%,
Like you've been
yeah.
a Harlem guy, die hard.
Born on
Like your dad.
by Sayer and
Okay.
Diversey,
Sayer and
raised
Diversey.
by Harlem
Wow.
and Armitage.
Montclair, right?
Montclair,
Montclair,
exactly.
yeah.
I was born actually a division in Cicero at St. Anne's Hospital. It doesn't
Okay.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, Montclair area, raised Elmwood Park. Since the day I got married, lived in Norwich.
Wow.
Wouldn't go anywhere else. Proud of the area.
I love
Try
it.
to help the area.
I love
you know,
it.
we've had the business in the area.
Yeah.
So God bless you guys in this
thank
wonderful
you.
place. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. I think it's important this episode more than real estate. I really want to, we're Italian, me and Frank, so it's more like for the Italian community. I love every community I represent. I have clients, from everywhere, every part of the world. But why not do one for? And that's why we have you here. That's why I have you.
And thank you. So then I'm
You
going
know?
to tell you something up in this brain.
Tell me.
Or whatever's left of it. In my mind, just writing down
Okay.
those streets I mentioned, including clubs,
Okay.
associations, I literally came up with 95 entities of Italian businesses, Italian owned,
Okay.
Italian themed, like I said, clubs and whatnot
Yeah.
in that small area. That tells you something.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a lot.
That's huge.
Tell me where there's more. Not even close. Not even close. I venture to say, for the geographics of it,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a place that had half or a third.
Yeah, that's huge.
So that tells you. Now, where do these people still live here? Maybe not as
Maybe not.
much,
Yeah,
but
correct.
there still is a good number in Elmwood Park.
Correct.
There's still a decent
There really
number
is.
around Harlem Avenue. There's still a good number in Norwich. There's still a number in Harwood Heights. And those are the areas that constitute North Harlem Avenue. That's what it runs through.
Like for real, if people live in, I do real estate everywhere, right? I go to Schaumburg, Algonquin. If they want to go get some good cannoli or something, they come to Harlem.
They come to
They're
Harlem.
like, in Harlem, it's known.
And you know what? They have a choice.
And they have a choice. That's
Because
right.
there's multiple places.
There's multiple places,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
That
Well,
makes
tell
it
me
even
this.
better.
When Italy's playing in the World Cup, Italy's playing in the Euro
Yeah,
Cup,
that's good.
where do the people come?
When we won the Euro Cup,
Yes.
so we won.
What
a few
happened
years
that
ago.
day?
Where was the party at?
3418 North.
I love it.
Harlem Avenue.
I love it. And if I was open back then, it would have been here up to here.
For sure would have been.
The next one.
We're gonna win next year.
I hope so, because you know
Well,
one of the greatest memories was 2006.
Oh, I love
And we were here.
Yeah,
We were watching it on Cumberland,
Yes.
and
We're
one
at
of the-
Chalk Cafe.
I'll never forget. We were watching it there,
Yeah.
and we won. The place cleared out. We all ran in on there, and one landscaper came. I'll never forget. It was a big red dump truck.
Yeah, we
and
jumped
we all
on
just
it.
jumped in
Yeah.
the back.
Oh my
He
gosh.
drove all the way to Harlem,
But that was awesome too. Like you could see.
and then we blocked the streets, and that was
Yes.
it.
Like I love the Italian community, right? But that day we were so united, so united. It's like it was amazing,
We kind of need them to win every time.
I know. That's like the time,
We can't win every 6 months.
Yes.
Like it was just amazing, the feeling and everything. Like,
But you know what? And that's what I like to tell people. Like, we can't wait every 4 years.
I know.
Also because they
I
didn't even
agree.
qualify for the last 8 years.
I know. What the heck?
But-
That's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
bring
But
that
I
up,
mean,
Frank.
there's so much, and you know, I wish that people would bring it
I agree.
more often.
I agree.
Okay, I wish they would bring it more often. But no, this is the place.
But that's where we have you.
I-
Kathleen. You're doing all these stuff to bring people together. Like, you know, you told me something that's happening next week at Casa Italia.
Well,
you know?
if I may,
For-
last
yeah.
Friday,
Tell us.
You may.
we had,
Yeah.
can I say kick ass?
Yeah,
Carlos, can
yeah.
I say kick ass? Okay, kick ass event at the Maria Santissima Lauretana Clubhouse
Beautiful.
on Lawrence and Austin, northwest side of Chicago.
Yep.
We had a gentleman who made a documentary film, La Porta dell'Inferno, about the sulfur mines in Sicily. Michael Cavaliere, great guy. We flew him in from California.
Wow.
We had some food, some
Huge.
Sicilian food. We showed the film. We had a question and answer.
Wow.
We packed the club. We were
Wow.
about 160 people.
Wow.
It was insanity.
That's crazy.
I loved it.
Tomorrow.
May 12th, open house, Italian Cultural Center at Casa Italia in Stone Park.
Beautiful.
We have been working on, there's a bunch of volunteers there, great people, and we've been working on the Italians in Chicago Museum.
Wow.
They've been redoing it for 2 years. So we are going to have an open house to showcase the new museum, art showing, Sicilian Museum, Calabrese Museum, an exact replica done of the St. Peter's Basilica.
So anybody, sorry to interrupt you. Anybody could come?
Open to all.
Open to everybody.
Free event,
Wow.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come anytime.
Even people that, let's say, love Italy, right?
You love
It doesn't have-
Italy?
you don't have to be Italian.
You love Italy. You like Italy. You hate Italy and want to
you're
say
tough.
something about it. Everybody's invited. Just come. We're going to
I
have
love it.
wine. We're going to have antipasto. We're going to have focaccia. We're going to have
love it.
probably arancini and spingione, but
Some
don't quote
vino.
me.
Probably
Lots of
some vino,
vino.
yeah,
Lots of vino.
Yeah.
Please come. It's going to be a really great night. We're going to have a book sale.
Okay.
Duplicate books we have in the Casa Italia library.
Really?
We're going to sell them for $2 a piece.
$2.
$2. We're going to have records we're selling $2. Everything $2. It's going to be a hell of a night. Please.
That's awesome.
Please.
That's awesome.
So,
But yeah, Frank, that's a lot of things you do like that, man. It's huge.
Yeah,
It's huge
and
for the
sometimes
community,
people
you know?
like they don't know,
Yeah.
that like there's these things, and there's people that want to be connected to it. That like, oh, my grandparents this, my
Yeah.
grandparents that, and sometimes it's hard for them to find a place to plug in. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they talk about like, you know, a lot of, like
Yeah.
I meet a lot of Italian people around here, and they're like third generation, and to me they're Italian because their DNA is Italian, and how they act Italian. They don't even know, they're Italian, but they need that link. They need that like stuff that you do, where they're like, wow, there's people similar to me, you know?
Absolutely.
And it's huge.
Sure.
It's huge.
And that's people around here that are kind of with other Italians. How about the people that live in, Oswego, and
Oh.
not to mention Oswego,
I
but,
know. Yeah,
far
yeah, yeah,
away.
yeah,
No
Aurora,
offense to
whatever.
Oswego,
Or
but,
New Lenox,
far away, and they don't have that, that mixture
connection.
of culture, that
Absolutely.
connection.
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, they got Jewel Osco there. You know,
Yeah,
there's
not
no
even.
Noli and Jewel.
They
Yeah.
got Piggly Wiggly or whatever the heck's out.
And you're right. It's unfortunate. How do you get to all these people? The only
hard.
thing is, social media
Yeah.
opens up a lot.
Yeah.
Anytime we have anyone show interest in Italian culture, Center, can we have your email address?
Yeah.
We put them on the big list, and then any event we have, we email them.
Yeah.
You try. You just
No,
try
but
to
you
keep
do great.
building.
You got your. Sorry to interrupt you. You do your podcast too. So I think you have a big reach there too. Like you've been, like I follow you, and
Thank you.
and
Thank
there's
you.
a lot of good interviews.
Thank you. No, I'll tell you,
You know?
from the podcast, which is 10 years of
Yeah.
Wow.
doing it, not full time or
Awesome.
anything.
10 years.
10 years.
You're like a revolution. You're like a pioneer. 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's been
You know,
a while.
We're on episode 7.
Yeah, and no, believe me, 10 years will go by super quick. You don't want it to go by that fast. It's great. I love it. I love interviewing Italian American authors
Yeah.
that write books.
That's awesome.
The last couple interviews, I've gotten lucky. This woman connect with me that lives in Italy, and
Wow.
she's like feeding me these people.
Really?
I interviewed an actress in Sicily. I mean, where would I come across this lady?
Wow.
I interviewed a guy today who's an accountant from Parma.
Yeah.
And he has this international accounting firm, and it's like I would never,
Wow.
get to these people. I
Connect with
interviewed
those
a
people.
lady
Yeah.
that's in. She lives in Terracini.
Terracini.
You know Terracini.
Yeah,
you
beautiful.
probably do too.
I love Terracini.
And she is an American
Okay.
that had a great grandfather or somebody came from Sicily.
Okay.
She went there for the first time at 40.
She fell in love.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Came back home, divorced her husband.
Wow.
Went there, has lived there,
She found a good
has
Sicilian
a
guy.
business now helping people to get citizenship. I think it's called Italian citizenship concierge.
Really? So she's
And-
helping Americans
Yeah.
that have Italian background to get their
Exactly,
citizenship. That is
exactly.
awesome.
And
That
that's
is
great. And I
awesome.
love that.
What's-
And now there's such a, there's this
Yeah.
big wave of like these houses for $1.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I interviewed another girl I found in the Chicago Tribune that bought a house in Sicily, and she was on in the newspaper. So I contacted her, and we did an interview. And you know where I interviewed her at?
We're at
3418 North Harlem Avenue, 60634 Chicago, in Pasta Fresh.
Pasta Fresh.
We did it there. She bought a house. It wasn't $1. She had to like bid. It was a few thousand.
Yeah, yeah.
She went there. Loves
awesome.
it. She bought the house next door.
That's awesome.
And she
Good
wants
for
to
her.
open a business and retire. And there's so much of
for her.
that because we all know
Yeah.
Italy is a beautiful, fantastic place.
Yeah.
A little bit with the politics and
yeah.
government. It's not ideal,
Pro and cons, but
but it's beautiful.
It's,
and looking for beauty and
Right.
fresh air and God. Carlos, God lives in Italy. I've seen his address. Okay.
Carlos is our video guy, top notch here, and Frank is.
I'm just kidding with you.
No, Carlos, no, we're gonna take Carlos to Sicily too.
Excellent. You
But
got
you
to
gotta
go.
understand, Italy's been around before Jesus. Like we've been around.
Yes.
Like our DNA is before. I love Jesus. But we've been around a long time before Christ.
Yes.
BC. So
And there's this influx of people and this resurgence of people going there.
Even Sicily as an island, as people, we've been I say America, as a mud and different cultures. We've been different cultures for over 2,000 years. We had Greek influence, Spanish, Norman. Like my dad is red hair, my mom is so completely dark, super dark. So.
And I'm not a historian, but it's like they've been conquered, survived,
They have.
conquered, survived,
Yeah.
conquered,
Yeah.
survived, and do amazing things there. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, no, it's really great, and it's unfortunate that these towns are kind of dying off,
I
and
know.
the people
You
leave,
know
and
which
it's
one-
sad.
you know
but
which
it's
one?
wonderful when
Yeah.
people are coming in.
The ones that are dying off though, like the ones for the dollar, just so the public knows, not every house is $1. Because my phone's gonna, go off the hook. Say, Greg, give me a house $1 in Sicily.
What's the commission on $1 there, Greg?
Yeah, no, I'll find your house. But most of those houses, though, one for $1 or a few $1,000s. The ones are like towns are getting really like.
yeah.
So it's become they're in the mountain. They're far away from like prime,
they're-
prime centers or the beach or the
And they need,
highway.
and there's a catch to it. You gotta like.
There's a big catch.
There's like you got the town's gonna hold like $5,000,
Yeah.
and you probably got to spend like
They want
50,
to-
60,
you rehab it.
70,000
Yeah.
to rehab
In
Yeah,
addition, there are some other stipulations like you have to live there.
for
Correct.
a year, 2
It's
years.
not just, now this girl I interviewed on Harlem,
Yeah.
I believe she paid like $5,000.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Okay, so
they
I mean,
have
it's-
programs there
yeah.
too. They want to
Yeah.
promote, to get more
Yeah.
populated in the towns.
Well, yeah, that's some of the.
And I give them credit because you need to do what you
Nothing
got to
wrong
do
with
to
that.
yeah,
survive.
they're being
Nothing wrong with
creative.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of those houses are not like a house over here. It's one room down, one room up.
Yeah,
And that's
they're
it.
good homes though.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
solid. They've been
They're
there.
built better here. They 900 years old, and over here,
Man.
20 years old, it's falling apart. You're
I
like,
know, I know. Tell me about it. Tell me about that. Look at the Vatican still standing. Here, after 50 years, like, oh, it needs a complete rehab. The home.
No, so very true.
I
No,
know.
things in Italy are there to last. You know that.
Yeah, yeah. But that's
The streets. You ever see the thing on Facebook?
Oh, the
when they
streets?
show
Yeah.
the streets
Yeah.
in Rome, 2,000 years. Then they show a street in
Yeah.
Chicago, 2.5 years old.
I know.
It's all chopped up and the potholes.
I know.
No,
That's
they know
crazy.
what they're doing.
I know. They
Yeah.
do. They do.
Yeah, and I like to bring, so I do these things called Italian American moments.
Okay.
That are like a 1-minute video. My son one day, who helps me immensely with the technical part, I don't know anything technical, and he said, "Why don't you do a video?" I'm like, "What do you
Yeah,
mean?"
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like a quick video about an invention,
Okay.
a story, an
I've seen them on
accomplishment.
Yeah, I've seen
Facebook.
it.
Yes, initially,
awesome.
thank you. I did where it'd be filming me, and I would talk really quick and try to get as much information in because people's attention span isn't
Correct.
huge.
Correct.
And now we kind of do more like an actual video with pictures, and I'm just a voice in the background. But I'm very proud of these things.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of these things
pretty
because,
awesome, yeah.
oh my God, they and I have people. You gotta understand, I have people now. They're sending me suggestions, and just for example, one that recently I did that these twin sisters told me about. They go, "Oh, you got to do about Watts Tower," and I go, "What's Watts Tower?"
Yeah.
Watts Towers. I go, "What is that?" They gave me the guy's name. So I go, I look it up. An Italian immigrant, long time ago, little man, 5'2", ends up in LA
know what you're
area
talking
of Watts,
Yeah.
which I'm not really familiar, but not a really good area. He buys a little triangle piece, a little shack on it by himself. And he is quoted as saying, "I want to do something big. I want to do something like Michelangelo and Galileo." So what does he do? He starts. He was like a tile setter by trade. He starts finding garbage, broken glass, broken tiles, wires, anything. He starts building outside, like a tower, and he's by himself for the next 32 years. And every day he does this. No power equipment, no scaffolding, no ladders. He had like a shovel, a pick, a bucket, 2 other little simple things in his own hands.
Yeah.
And by himself, he would build, let it dry, climb up. Build, let it dry, climb up. He builds like 3 or 4 towers, the tallest being 100 feet.
Wow.
They're amazing. He left it. So it was like from like
left it for the-
1921 to
He left it for the
1953.
city, right?
He like left it for the city.
Yeah.
So I watched a couple of little videos on it, and apparently the story went like after he left it, either they wanted to move it or they wanted to demolish it.
Okay.
So they said, well, this isn't safe.
Okay.
So they brought in these things to test it. Mm-hmm. It was built like a fort because an Italian with talented hands knew what he was doing. So it was built great, wasn't going to fall.
Yeah.
It has become an inspiration to everyone.
Frank, I think it was on a movie too. They on Netflix. They did a series.
That's what it is. It was on
It was on a movie. I can't remember. It was.
Hold on, it was a series.
It was a love story between the
Scratch,
Italian-Americans.
from scratch.
From scratch.
They mention him.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
this,
they showed.
Oh,
They showed.
He went there.
Yeah, and there's a statue to him, right, and a plaque
It's
and all that.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys know the Beatles, even though it was a long time ago. Well, the Beatles had a famous album cover when they had records, and the album cover was a big deal, and it was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album.
Yeah.
And they had all these people, like 40 famous people, and he's one of them. So he's known, but he's not.
Yes.
I would love to see a documentary about the man, but what an incredible accomplishment,
Great story.
and us Italian Americans don't know who he is.
I know.
So I was proud of doing that moment to just
awesome.
give a little bit. And I wish that, we
very cool.
talk about, we're portrayed in the media and Hollywood, always in a bad light, always mobsters, always, if there's a bad guy, he's an Italian. I mean, come on.
But you know
there's bad-
how it goes. Hollywood made money with.
They make
with
money,
that,
they do
right?
it. But
So-
we, as a community nationally,
Yeah.
we have money,
But-
we have power,
yeah.
we have filmmakers, we have actors, we have producers, we have directors, we have the guy that goes, action! We have that guy.
We do.
So why aren't we doing these things? I want to see a documentary about Simon Rodia.
Yeah.
I want to see a documentary about A.P. Giannini, who is responsible for lots of modern banking practices.
Yeah.
Who's A.P. Giannini? We need to know that. We need to know that
The
Anthony
founder-
Rossi started
Do you know
Tropicana Orange Juice.
You know the founder of Bank of America is Italian?
That's the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's the
Yeah.
guy.
That's
Amadeo
founder of Bank of America.
Pietro Giannini
Yeah.
founded
Let's say
Banco
it.
d'Italia,
Yeah.
which became
Bank-
Bank of America.
Because he needed
that we
to
know
switch it
today.
around to make money,
Yes.
and he made a Bank of
Yes.
America.
What an incredible
It's
man
crazy.
that he's a couple of things he did. Back in those days, you didn't
Frank.
only the rich got loans. Well, what does that tell us? Only the rich could get richer and the middle class and the poor
Frank.
stayed down.
We want to keep humble, but even America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. Let's remember.
I knew that. I didn't want to say it though.
I can say it.
Sometimes I think I come across
keep
like
humble.
too much, and I don't want to be that way.
I know.
But yet you
I know.
kind of
We're
have
really
to.
proud, but we have pride.
We're
That's why I
proud.
want
We're
to teach
proud.
my kids too. Like
That's
they have
all.
to be proud who they are.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And
And
I'm
every
glad-
culture should be proud where they're from.
I was just gonna say
they
that.
should embrace where they're from.
I respect when
Never
people
forget.
are proud of who you are,
Yeah.
where you come from. That's
Yeah.
important, no matter what that is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Harlem.
I love it. We're live and it's real. So,
No.
you invited me here, and this is what you were gonna get.
Okay, I
That's
gotta
right.
tell you. Usually, I'm the one who talks a lot, but today you might.
No,
I think you're beating
I
me.
think Frank could give
I
you a
think
run.
you're beating me.
Frank gives you a run for your money.
Frank is beating me.
So
He's giving
Frank,
me a run.
let me ask you. So what do you think? What would you say if you could have? What does a neighborhood need more of? Or the community need more
That's a
of?
good question. That's a good question.
What would you, if you could think of like one thing that you would like to see more of? What would it be, and how could we make that happen?
Well, you know what? I mean, a neighborhood, a community, commercial part of it. I think it's pride, once again. Keep up your storefront, keep up your area, keep it clean. Nobody's asking for you to volunteer 50 hours a week. Nobody's asking for anything. Just participate, support.
Yeah.
We'll do that work. We'll do the legwork.
Yeah.
We have no problem with that. There's a whole group of volunteers at the Italian Cultural Center.
I guess
There's
even showing up.
showing up, that's
Right?
supporting.
Okay, that's
you know,
it.
we have an Italian American authors event, 19th year at Italian Cultural Center. It's called IA Literati.
Okay.
We bring in all these authors. They get like 10, 15 minutes to talk about their book.
Okay.
People mingle, they network, you talk to the authors, they sell some books. And you know what one of the biggest thing is? Because our story wasn't written, because we weren't authors.
No.
We're not readers by nature, okay? And those people weren't writing our story. So if we don't write our story,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna. So if we write our story, we need us to support them. Buy their books. Support
You're
them.
right.
Support, come to an event, that's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Not every week.
No.
Just come to something.
fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Where can they the culture center? So I'm out, and let's say someone's out, like, oh, I want to do something. Where can they go find? Like, is there a list of events they could find?
well, there are, and I'll tell you, if real simple, they just go to the Casa Italia website, Casa Italia Chicago, and just send an email.
Okay.
They'll get back to you.
Casa
you know what I
Italia
mean?
have a Facebook page as well?
Yes, they have a Facebook page, Casa
you
Italia.
can follow it.
There's a Casa Italia Library Facebook page. I am on the board at Casa Italia, but more importantly, and I'm more proud, I'm a volunteer of the Italian Cultural
Yeah.
Center and the Casa Italia Library.
Yeah.
And we try to keep it going. And, you know, together with all these people, we're doing things. We had a tombola night.
Tombola.
Our version of bingo.
Bingo.
So many people came, they had a ball. A couple people played Italian cards, Scopa,
Yeah.
Briscola.
Yeah.
Just things like that. You know, we have movie nights from time to time. We have these author events. Come by. We are there every Wednesday from around noon to 5 p.m. Around 2:30, we have our espresso break.
Really?
With
Oh, we'll come at 2:30.
every Wednesday. I'm not kidding. Please come by.
Wow.
We have cookies, focaccia. We have tons of
Oh, really?
things.
Oh, there you go.
Come
Wednesday
and
lunch.
see-
Wednesday lunch is solved.
Absolutely. We have books there to be taken out. We have music there. You want to write your own story about your family? We'll help you do it. We'll help you get it published. There's a lot of great things going on, and I encourage more people to come and don't be shy.
Yeah.
And if, you know, not everything is for you, like I said, nobody's saying, you know, please
No.
give us money, please give us your time. No, we want you to just come.
Exactly.
One thing, I think we could encourage people to do this more. And I talk to people about going to, like, you know, maybe how we come across, like, you know, sometimes,
Italian people?
Italian people, how they come across to, like, American people, like how you're talking. Some people say, it's pretty aggressive. Like, they don't want to go to a store because, you know, they're like, all right, what do you need? But we're not, that's just how we talk.
Yeah, that's how we are.
So if you're nervous, like, oh, I don't know the guy,
No,
don't be afraid. Don't be bashful. They're happy that you come in a store. They're happy that you come by and they come and stop
We're
by.
loud. We're upfront. That's the truth, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we mean well.
Yeah.
Most-
So there's not.
most-
It's just the way.
You know what I
It's
mean?
just a
We mean well.
cultural thing.
And it's
Good heart.
not, and it's a good point. It's not
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not, you know what it is? I always say it. We have this little community and we think that it's just about that.
Yeah.
And there's like thousands and thousands and thousands more people out there. I want to get them
Correct.
to come to the movie night, to come to the author
Yeah,
event, to
I
come
agree.
to Tombola.
I agree
What's
with you.
Tombola? You know what we did at Tombola?
Yeah.
We didn't just play. So every number has like a meaning in
Correct.
Italian.
Correct.
And we had one of our volunteers. I can't work like this. No, I'm just kidding. And we had one of our volunteers that she read what it meant in Italian. They translated it. It wasn't just playing.
It was education.
Tombola. It
It
was
was
educational. It was
educational.
cultural. You know, and there's a lot of great people, and there really are. We want you to come to stuff. This is not just a little closed society, and you got to
And
know
what is
someone.
tombola? Tombola is a bingo.
It's like it's a bingo.
In Italy, it's played most of the time around the holidays. You know, where people just take like a week off. They sit down, they eat a lot, and they're playing around the table. You know, waiting to eat again. And it's a great time. And that's how and families are tight. And that's my memories when I was growing up there. When I was playing tombola.
And we might come up with an Italian version of Jeopardy.
Jeopardy in Italian.
How cool would that be?
That'd be cool.
So like you could have, I'll take Sicily for 200.
Yeah. That'd be
And
cool.
there'd be question, you know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
We're looking into it. I think that would be really fun. We try to do, like I said, we try to do these things. So over there's so many books that people have written about their families. There's so many great things happening in that building. And I really encourage people to come on a Wednesday and just see it. We'll give you a tour. If you can't make May 12th, come any Wednesday.
Anyways,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how about, I know it's big too with like a show like Finding Your Roots. So is there any like help? Like let's say, I don't know where they're from exactly. I knew my great grandfather was from Calabria, and my other grandmother was from I don't know, let's say Tuscany or something.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Yes.
help with that?
So we started once a month. I want to say it's like the last Saturday, a genealogy seminar.
It's pretty cool.
Free,
Wow.
helping
Free.
you to any extent.
Wow.
I have a gentleman I have interviewed. He does an Italian roots and genealogy. He has a website. He has a Facebook page. You could just write them, go on and just say, hey, I think my family, and they'll help you to the best they can. So a lot of good people that are just doing this from their heart.
Yeah.
Great people. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, I think that's an awesome thing because a lot of people they don't know. They're like, oh, I knew about it, but I mean, I get it all the time. People ask me, oh, you're Italian? Oh, yeah. I'm like, then they ask me a couple questions. I'm fortunate enough to know the history,
you know a little
but
bit
then I
more.
ask them like, oh, I don't know. Maybe my aunt or somebody knows. I have to ask them.
I think what happened, there's a lot of Italians that came, let's say, after World War I, World War II. Their parents were more like trying to remove them from the culture a little bit.
They're
to
getting
fit
American.
better in the American culture, have better opportunities. And I think a lot of those Italians are kind of like, they want it, they love the idea, but they're not as connected.
Right.
So that happens a lot.
And I'm no historian, but like post World War II, it wasn't cool
It wasn't cool.
to be Italian and to
wasn't.
speak the language
Yeah,
because
we're
of
like-
the things happening in the world, and
And there
the
was
war.
a lot of stuff against the Italians too. Like we kind of like, got a beating too out there,
Oh yeah, no, for
So-
sure. And I mean, watching that movie the other night about these boys that worked in the sulfur mines, they were slaves. They were.
Let's mention the
literally-
name again. Porta
La
d'Inferno.
Porta dell'Inferno.
The door of hell.
And it was done by Michael, the
Translate.
Dorval, and it was done by Michael Cavalieri.
Okay.
It's a documentary film. It's about 40 minutes long. That's his second film that he did in Sicily. He's a
Nice.
Sicilian American.
Nice.
And he's bursting with pride, and
Good.
he doesn't want, it's like he's got skills, and instead of just acting in Hollywood and mob movies, because he could do it,
He could.
he wants to give back.
Yeah.
And that's the second film he did, filmed in Sicily.
Wow.
And he's up for more. And, that's the thing about the whole podcast and getting to know people all over the country and the world, which is an amazing thing. Like, today I'm sitting in my house
You interview somebody from Parma.
and I'm with
That's
a guy,
huge.
he's in Parma.
Yeah, come on.
That's amazing.
It's huge.
And I feel so fortunate to get to meet these people and these authors and just all of them, and anybody who does a positive thing.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Yeah.
Really, God bless them. And another thing I'm proud of that. Do you remember the Maroons Club?
Yeah, Maroons.
So the Maroons Club.
Frank played in Maroons.
Did you really?
Yeah, Frank.
Wow. Okay.
It was a great time. And
Italo
it
American.
was such a cool idea. Now
was.
I just remember not paying anything, and now it's like this big business.
So
My
you
son-
played for the Maroons team.
I played probably when I was 17, and then I played under 19, and then I played up until I was 23, and then I met my wife, and then I couldn't go to practice. I was you start working, and you're like, all right, I can't.
Well, that's great.
Amateur
No.
hours over.
That's great. So that was a Italo American Soccer Club
Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
Right.
I think lasted about 40 plus years.
Yeah.
Wow. Long time.
Had a clubhouse, owned the building, very nice place. They used to have these dinners once a month. Una cena, una cenetta.
Sì.
And they were lots of fun. And then the club, it ended. Like, everything comes to an end.
I mean, it was such a cool idea. I mean, when I was in it, I didn't really appreciate it. But
Well, we never know what we have until we lose it.
so I was like,
Not to get philosophical, but
you're,
true.
I remember we'd play. So as the adult, when you're on the adult one, you would go, you'd play. So we would play a Lithuanian team.
Mm-hmm.
So if we played over there, after the game, they would make Lithuanian food, Lithuanian beer,
Wow.
and there. If they played we played at Elmwood Park High School.
That's
They
pretty cool.
they would come back to the club. You didn't have to.
Yeah.
They'd make pasta,
Make it
chicken,
Nice.
and so both teams would eat together.
Nice.
After we're
That's
done.
a great idea.
After we're done fighting.
no, but in the heat of the competition is one thing, but afterwards you
Yeah.
broke bread together.
Yeah, he broke.
Yeah.
That's nice.
When most fights were between each other. I was at one. The craziest game was we were playing. I'll never forget it. I played defense, and this forward we had, he's missed one goal. And we
What's
had
his
this,
name?
one of the forwards. He might watch it. I don't want to say. I might not remember. I don't remember
We'll
the.
buy a house from you.
So then he misses another goal, like easy chance. It's like you're watching the game at the club, right? You hear the defender, what the. Then again, next thing you know, so he misses a goal, and the guy playing next to me says something. Next thing you know, I just, the other goalie's getting ready, puts the ball down. Everybody's like kind of standing still, and I'm looking, and I just see this guy on our
Running.
team forward sprinting at our own player.
Yeah.
Coming back. He goes, another guy, defender, tries to stop him. These guys on our own team, they start going at it.
Pretty
The
good
referee
start.
didn't know what to do. He's like, instead of breaking it up, then whatever. They made up at the end.
It happens. It happens.
But
Well,
that just shows the
Guys,
passion.
Oh, sure.
We played again.
Sure.
But it was a great experience. It was a cool idea. But now it's like turned into this business. We used to go play. I never paid a dime. I don't know. The club would raise the money.
The club would
We had
pay for
donors.
the, yes.
They had a newsletter. They had a newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
They had.
My father was a member there. I mean, I remember going. So in the end, they had these dinners once a month. They were great, and then the club closed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, you know what? I always think like, why can't we do that? So
Yeah.
I went to a restaurant on Harlem Avenue. I'm going to go in my neighborhood. And I talked to him, and it was Rocco Vino,
Yeah, Rocco, yeah.
Nuccio D'Argento,
Yeah.
and Rocco Di Frenza. And hey, if I bring in a group of people, set menu, this, that, how much would it be?
Yeah.
This. So I told everybody, hey, you guys want to go for a dinner? This is what it'll cost. This is what he's charging us. Boom. We give it to him. From that, Little Italy Cenetta. We've been doing dinners 2, 3, max 4 times. It's more like 2, 3 times a year for 10 years.
Wow.
And probably 95% of the dinners were in the Harlem Avenue area.
Wow, that's
Okay?
pretty awesome.
And to show you though, it wasn't just dinner, which there's nothing wrong with dinner, but every time I usually bring like Italian magazines, newspapers,
Correct.
anybody could take them. I promote any events coming up, okay? And there's networking and all that. And about 4 or 5 times in the 10 years, we had a raffle. I don't like to bother people. I don't want to, we had a raffle to raise money for an exclusive Italian cause, okay? And we gave money to this Italian cause.
To the cause. That's
So
nice.
it's like, now mind you, this whole thing is done without meetings, titles, dues, drama,
Yeah. No
nothing.
drama or nothing. Yeah.
It's just boom. Organize the dinner, tell the people, they come.
Simple.
10 years.
That's awesome.
And when I tell you, I mean, initially
And
it
you
was
guys are
30.
just hanging out, right? You're hanging
That's
out,
all.
you're eating,
And
talking,
we've had
breaking bread.
100 people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, and it's a good thing. You know what I mean?
things like that, yeah.
Good, positive thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad about that, and God willing, we'll keep it going. And you
Yeah,
know.
I hope so too, and I hope more young people get involved too, right? You're really young, but I'm just saying, like
Not
people
really.
people
Not really.
even the second generation or third generation Italian, I think they shouldn't be embarrassed if they don't even talk Italian, don't speak Italian.
No, there's
Come
nothing
by,
wrong with
Italian.
that.
No, they could learn.
I
You
feel
know?
bad because it's okay.
Yeah, I heard
There's-
you speak Italian today? Like today, at the office early, you.
I had to take
you
that
were
call.
really
I'm
good.
sorry.
Really good.
But thank you. Thank
You
you.
didn't even grow up out there.
No, I was
So-
born and raised there.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, don't feel bad.
Exactly.
Don't feel bad. That
Exactly.
you know, and come to things. And you know, speaking of the Italian language,
Yeah.
if I can, I like to promote Italian Mass.
Yeah. that's
Every
awesome.
Sunday, there is an Italian Mass at 10:30 a.m.
Wow.
at Our Lady of Mount Carmel
Our Lady.
Church in Melrose Park on the corner of
Park.
23rd and Augusta.
Nice.
There's a tremendous priest there that he's just great,
Yeah.
and
Padre Alejandro.
Leandro, yes, and when he speaks, I mean, you listen, and he's just incredible, and
That's awesome.
you know, and at that church they do a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a Padre Pio Society,
Padre Pio. Yeah.
and they had a mass. It was one of the first times they ever did it for Santa Lucia.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about who Santa Lucia was.
Yeah.
Sicilian.
Yeah.
And patron saint of the eyes. And that night, the Father blessed our eyes. And then after the dinner, they had an authentic, traditional, the foods you would eat in, where is Santa Lucia? In Catania?
In
or?
Catania. But they did it for Santa Lucia.
For Santa
so they
Lucia.
had stuff that they made
No
for
meat,
Santa Lucia. Yeah.
no flour,
yeah.
you don't use
Yeah.
flour, all these different things.
Kind of like
I
when you
loved
do for
it.
San Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Kind
Yes.
of like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also do a very authentic San Giuseppe table.
pretty
But
awesome.
I love that stuff. You know, the older I've gotten, I want to learn that stuff. Like I enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed. I love to go to this mass, and I love to learn new stuff, and I love cultural stuff. God bless those who organized it,
Yeah.
did it. I really tip my hat to them because I respect the hell out of it because it's not easy.
No.
It's your time.
Correct.
Typically, it's your money.
Correct.
And typically,
Correct.
you're going to hear people complaining, bitching, and putting you down for it. And it's the
Sounds-
truth.
sounds-
No, it really is the
sounds like
truth.
fun.
And this transcends all ethnic groups.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's
Everybody.
sad, but it's you got to be willing to put up with that,
Yeah.
get abused, and do
Yeah.
this.
But
I
I think
know.
it's worth it. It's worth
It
it. At the end of
is.
the day, it's worth it.
It really
Yeah, it's worth
is. So,
maintaining.
any ideas you guys have for
Yeah,
Harlem
absolutely.
Avenue, for our Italian American
Yeah.
community, I'm all ears. And if anybody that
for
knows
sure.
me, believe me, I'm not just talk. I will give you what I got. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
know.
This the little brain.
You do a lot.
And my 2 arms. I'll give it to you.
You really
So-
do. You do a lot for the
Well,
community. and
thank you,
it's
thank
pretty,
you.
It's pretty awesome to keep Harlem alive and in the Italian community alive.
You know, it's. I don't want to
know?
say it's easy, but when you do certain things really genuine from your heart,
that you're passionate.
You love it.
You're passionate.
You
I
love,
love
it.
it.
So it's like
I love it.
It's work, but it's
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
it's an enjoyment. It's a labor of love.
Yeah. It has to be, like you just said. You do all this stuff, then people are going to complain. They're going to critique.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
know,
mean just to me. I mean, it's
No,
everybody.
it's, I see it too.
It's everybody.
Yeah, I see
I
it.
don't mean just to me. I mean, when
No,
you
no,
do
everybody does
things,
that, yeah.
when you put yourself out there, you got to be ready for.
You gotta be ready, yeah.
You got to have thick skin. That's all.
People are gonna love you.
But
or
that's
hate you.
everything, even in
That's
business.
everything.
When you
and
opened
right
here, I'm
now,
sure there were people-
We got love and hate. It is what it is. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
we try to get more love, but
Absolutely.
Right.
My big hope is like the more we do, and the more Italian American moments, and the more podcasts that there might be that person out there that sees
you
it.
could inspire somebody.
Yeah.
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 Like that story you were telling me about that American girl, right? That she went to Sicily and she fell in love, and now she lives there.
Yes.
Right? So they have the territory and something inspire her. So that could happen with your podcast.
And let me tell you
know?
something. She was in view of the sea, had a 2-bedroom apartment, and do you know what she paid?
Awesome.
500 euros.
Wow. For
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't a palace, but
Yeah.
500 euros.
No, you can't
You
go-
mean like for the rent? For
Her rental of this apartment.
yeah.
Her rental of the apartment. Okay.
Rental
Yeah.
of the apartment. I mean,
Yeah, I
we
agree.
know in Chicago
Yeah.
that wouldn't get you a nice closet.
No.
Okay, roughly what is 500 euros? $530?
$600
$600,
Yeah,
700,
600?
650.
Yeah.
Sicily,
Seven.
the cost of living in Sicily is not bad. You know, they don't make a lot of income, but the cost of living is pretty low, where you could survive. You know, even with a couple thousand.
Yeah, food's cheap.
Yeah, but if you do go a little up from Roma and above, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's back like here.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
it
just
changed
like
a little bit. But yeah, I'm from Sicily. We're from Sicily.
Thus, the desire for like the American that's kind of retired to say, hey, this is a beautiful place
Yeah.
to live.
Yeah,
cheap.
Yeah, it's great.
no, it's a. If you got to do anything that's office related, it's pretty bad. But
Yeah.
if you want to eat well,
Right.
relax, go to the beach, there's no better place.
No.
And the natural beauty that's there, we couldn't buy that in
No,
America.
you can't. You can't. There's
Right?
they have everything you can't buy.
Yes.
They have everything you can't buy.
Yeah.
You can try. You could. You know,
but
so-
we're blessed here too,
No.
right? We make a lot of the replica of it. We bring the foods. We're here. This country gave us a lot, right?
Yeah.
Italy suffered for many years. It was in a bad shape.
This country gives you opportunity.
This country gives it
what
all.
you do
It's
with
up to
the
you.
opportunity is up to you.
Yes, it's up
but
to you.
it's there. It
It's-
truly
yeah,
is.
it is. In Italy, I love Italy. Don't get me wrong, but the opportunity is different.
It's different.
It's who you know, what you do. I don't want to go to Italy. I go all the time, but I like it to go with my full pocket. I don't want to go do business.
And speaking of Harlem, I mean, look at you guys.
So, yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
built something that didn't exist,
Nah,
Thank you.
yeah,
and it happened on Harlem.
Yeah, it happened.
Agostino, Ristorante Agostino, 2817
Yep.
North Harlem Avenue.
Harlem.
Immigrant,
Yep.
opened the restaurant.
Yep.
You know where he opened?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna where? He didn't open at 2817 North Harlem.
Wait, the original? No, I don't know.
Okay.
Tell me.
I love teaching these young guys
Yeah,
stuff.
come on.
All
Right,
All
that's
right,
why
let me
you're
get
here.
comfortable here.
I'm learning.
All right, so there was Gino's Italian
Okay.
food store, Pasta Fresh in Piazza Italia,
Okay.
3418 to 26 North Harlem. Well, where Bartucci, the restaurant, is now,
Was that?
not the extra room to the north,
Yeah.
just the original room when
Like
you
the
walk
three,
in.
three tables.
Okay.
Yes.
That was Agostino?
That was the birth of
Wow.
Ristorante Agostino. And it was Agostino, his wife, and his brother.
Wow.
The brother was the waiter,
Wow.
him and his wife were the cooks, that little place. From that, they moved to 2817 North Harlem, and I believe he's in his like 37th year.
Yeah, he works his ass off.
He works his ass off. He's come up with this Calabrese authentic product, Nduja.
Yeah,
They also
that's
now, with his son, they're selling, they're making
they're making
salamis and
salami.
mortadella.
Yeah, good for them. They were
What a
like
great
some show,
story.
yeah.
What a great story. And he's very proud. He's just one of, like you guys, the many.
You know what it is? I feel like it's almost like in our DNA. We have that culture of work. It's just like, so anywhere you put us, especially if you put us in this country where there's all these opportunities,
Well, that's just it.
then we flourish. even
This
more,
country was
you know?
was made for these Italian people with talented hands and a work ethic.
Yeah.
You combine that,
We know so many. I know so
Wow.
many.
Well, sure.
From pizza makers to restaurant owners to bakery
like you said,
guys.
baker. We're talking just Harlem.
You know what I mean?
Bakeries and
Yeah,
food stores
yeah.
and travel agents and hair salons and
Think about talking about restaurant, Cucina Biagio too.
Yeah.
Cucina Biagio.
And
Mr. Biagio,
and we're-
amazing story.
Amazing
him too.
story
He's
from Altavilla,
my
right?
town.
From your town.
Yeah, immigrant, zero.
Open
So,
banquet halls.
Yeah,
We were talking
Worked his
before.
ass
We were
off.
talking before we came here where we started, and then back in the day, everyone who came through there, we got like a big developers coming through there, and then
Yeah.
then they.
Oh, and at the original place, we were brand now, but the Zitella worked there.
Yeah.
Worked there. So
So many came out of there.
yeah,
Right.
Because, yeah, I mean they, it's
Well,
like,
just like the story of Gino Bartucci. Gino Bartucci worked at Riviera.
yeah. Oh wow.
Not for the Pugliese family that
Okay,
owns it.
okay.
The original owners,
original one.
he worked there.
It's interesting.
And then he branched out on his own and built that beautiful Piazza Italia,
that's
which
good.
where we've had the celebrations for, all these soccer victories and stuff.
pretty
And then he opened across the street his gift store and Bomboniere and all that. So I mean, it's the place.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed because obviously I hang around here and I go see people and
Yeah, you
I
do.
love it.
You do.
But you see people come from far. They get in their car and drive an hour and 20 minutes to buy cannolis and to buy fresh pasta and to go buy Italian souvenirs.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but it's a testament
Yeah.
to their products and their work ethic. It really is. It's such a compliment,
Right.
And a lot of these places that are here don't exist there. That's why you drive the hour and 20 minutes.
That's why they come in Harlem, right?
Yes.
But also it tells you the Italian people are really connected with their like even if they're away or like maybe it's not in their face every day, but when they have the opportunity, they love it.
They love it.
Like I could see, like I go to listing appointments, right? Talking about real estate, and there's like, and they don't know me. I go by Greg. My real name is Gregorio, but I go by Greg for business. And once I tell them I'm Italian, oh my God, it's like their face light up. Like, oh, you're Italian. My grandpa was Italian. My great grandma. They'll tell me the whole. Like I actually won the appointment. Like it's like done.
There's a connection, right?
Yeah, right away.
There's a connection.
Right away.
And if they're not Italian,
they
there's like a
still, like-
fascination with it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a, it's a very cool. Can I say it's a sexy thing to be? It really is, and they love it. and They eat it up, and I mean that's why I always say, let's be genuine and be it. They come to Harlem for that stuff. You don't have to get away from it.
Yeah, I know.
Embrace it because that's what the people want.
Like if I come back in the world, sorry to interrupt you, and I'm born again, I want to be Italian again. Sorry for everybody, I love everybody, but I want to be Italian again.
Absolutely.
I would just say at one, this lady's buying a condo all the way south side, Hyde Park. We see the lady come out, she's president of the association. So he's like, oh, I knocked the wall down. So we're going through her place. She was really nice, let us in. I'm walking through, I see like a old map of region of Tuscany. So, like, oh, hey. She's like, oh, it's my grandparents, my grandfather was from Italy. And actually, she's from Sicily, and I started going every year the last 10 years. So we started talking. She was like, and then I looked up her town. I'm like, oh, it's kind of where my wife's town is, just further inland.
Wow.
So we were talking, and she's trying to find this out and that out, and she wants to do all this stuff. So it was just, she just lit up when we started talking.
Yeah,
and then we forgot about talking about the condo, and we were just talking.
Yeah.
Then my client's sitting there like, okay, Frank, like, so,
like,
but,
okay,
but she was into it too. I'm just saying. But, it's a cool thing. So in the heyday of your
Like, as a young guy. Haven't
I know,
seen him
yeah.
look
So
at
let's say 10 years ago,
I'll sign right now if I'm like
10
that.
years ago in your 20s or whenever, they had time, 30s. Like, what was it like versus now? I mean, obviously, it's not what
That's
it
a good
was.
question.
Okay,
but
that is a very good
That's a good
question.
My dad's side, they came in the early 60s, so you had like more first generation.
I'm not that old.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
that era,
yeah.
like your era.
Right.
Those people can't, like, they were like, you had more,
that's what
you
it
had more
was.
population.
His era is that we're talking about.
Well, no,
the
but you're
90s,
right. You're
90s.
right because
Yeah,
like
I'm
my
talking
wife,
about my dad. I'm not talking about you.
my wife, they came in the 70s.
Okay.
There was a huge influx. Hey, anytime you've got an influx of immigrants,
Yeah.
they bring freshness. They
Fresh.
bring the culture from today. They bring the language. They bring all this. It starts to fade as generations go on. So you had this influx of the 70s. This area, very populated with Italians. It was huge. As a young kid, when people said, "What are you?" I immediately responded, "I'm Italian."
That's awesome.
Like I didn't even know there was a difference.
Yeah.
That's to show you how stupid I was, but that's the way it was.
No, it was just how you grew up.
And I kind of realized that I wasn't Italian when I went to Italy for the first time because it's like, whoa. this,
They're like, wait, the Italians there, they're like, wait, you're culo russo.
Yes. I mean, I got an American passport. It's like, wait a minute. But what I'm getting at is there was a lot of pride and there was less mobility. There was less. Okay, you got to understand. I'm coming from an era where there's no internet, no computers, no cable TV.
Yeah.
There's 5-6 channels.
Me and my brother were just
Everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So this pride and being Italian, it was a strong thing.
Yeah.
I have children, okay, that are in their early 20s, and even though their parents are Italian,
You're so involved.
everybody's Italian. We're involved. They are in an Italian area.
Yeah.
They're proud, but it's not the top priority.
Yeah.
Because children of today are going 1,000 directions at every moment because we have the technology and social media and YouTube and this and that. You can go on 100 times. It's pulling everybody.
Yeah. But even people in, I go often in Italy. Even people in Italy, the young kids are like.
It's a different Italy, I believe.
It
as
is.
well.
They're actually getting a lot of influence from us here.
And plus, you have this European Union now
So
that
now
opened
plus
up.
European, so it's a little different too.
It's
so
different,
It's kinda
yes.
We got to preserve that culture.
We gotta
right?
try.
Everywhere in the world. Here, on Harlem, and all the way from even back home in Italy.
So I think it is definitely different.
Okay.
And yes, some people have moved away. Sometimes Italians, though, they're funny. If they leave the neighborhood, move away, and then you talk to them, like, you still live in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't get cut off and flew away. I mean, yeah, they're still a neighbor. Like, because they moved away, it ended.
They're trying to, they're justifying.
Little egotistical, I got to be honest with you, but okay. No, there's still a neighborhood there. So, did people move away? Of course they did.
Yeah.
Is it like I said, is this the 1970s?
No.
And it never will be.
Yeah.
But we're still
Still
a
there.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely still a presence.
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
can feel it.
And there's also a lot of good people that came in new in the neighborhood.
There's
good
new
culture,
people.
Good,
And there's new
you know what I mean?
businesses
There
opening.
really is.
XR
There really is.
Realty.
Yeah, and this
XR
used to
yeah.
be a big staple in the neighborhood back in, you were telling us back in the day, right?
Absolutely. When I walked in here today, first thing in my mind was, wow, I don't think I walked in that door since
It was
1989
funny.
or
You
something.
even knew the owner that built the place.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
Like, this is Mr.
This was
that's it,
Bar
right?
San Francesco,
San Francesco. Yeah.
named after San Francesco di Paola, the patron saint of Calabria.
Bring-
A society
bring
of
us
San
some-
Francesco di Paola
Yeah.
that will be having their annual Festa della Famiglia August 12th and 13th on the grounds of Casa Italia 2023.
Bring us some blessings.
This was Bar San Francesco.
Yeah.
Next door was Trattoria Bella Via.
Trattoria Bella Via.
The man who owned Bar San
I like the
Francesco built this building. It is
Yeah.
a beautiful brick,
Yeah, thank you.
Italian built,
you.
Italian look to it. It really
Yeah,
is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
That's where
building.
we fell in love.
Yeah, so when I walked in this, it was like, wow,
We,
I was a teenager.
yeah, that's
and we
awesome.
used to come here, and it was a really classy, built, beautiful Italian
Yeah.
bar. And you guys have done a great job
you.
with it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you.
And we need that. We need
No, we do.
newer, younger people.
I feel like my only like this just because I'm straight from there. Little this, I love the neighborhood. I love Harlem. I love the Italian people I meet.
But
The the Italian language, like a lot of people don't like. They don't even give it a try. Or their chop words, like it's more like they follow like the Sopranos and the Godfather, than anything else. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that's lacking. I feel like I meet a lot of Italian people, and I feel like there are Italian. We connect. I'm like they're like people like in Italy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the language,
Sure.
they're just like
No, and I mean-
some other cultures I see like they're really tight. You meet
Well,
some,
that's.
you know what I mean?
I think we don't. We're.
So why? Why
I'm-
is
I'm
that?
for-
That's the only thing.
I think
that's the
I-
problem I have.
I think us we try to we try to adapt so much.
Yeah, but
and
too
we
much.
we don't have like the Polish. They have the Polish school. The Greeks they have the Greek school.
ding, ding,
Greeks,
ding,
man.
ding, 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 ding. You hit it on the
They-
head.
we don't
We
have
never
that.
had that Italian
And look
school.
at look at
We,
look at
the
you.
Greeks literally they go to Greek school.
So do the Polish.
Like it's insane.
So did the Polish.
And the Polish too.
Polish
but like
too.
it's a big thing. Sorry. No, I want the Italian community to like maybe be more involved with the language, right? Or even the little they know, they just follow
Yes.
like the TV show, right? From
Oh,
Sopranos,
now I know
right?
what I was going to say.
Like
okay.
versus,
nothing against The Sopranos,
No.
nothing against the movies. But
Nothing
here's
against
the
it.
problem. When those are so popular,
Yes.
the American public thinks that every Italian American
Correct.
is a criminal.
Pretty much.
And then when we are young people that are growing up that are kind of impressionable,
Yeah.
they think that. So when we do things that we sit and go, hey, what's your favorite
Yeah,
gabagoo?
yeah.
And who's your favorite actor? We're letting our young Italian Americans think
true.
that that's the way to be.
But that's not
and
true.
we're letting the
Yeah,
American
I
public
agree.
think that that's how we are.
I agree.
Now, I don't care if you're in a film or
agree.
you do any of that,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. We as a community got to do a better job to produce films,
Yeah.
documentaries in a positive light. We got to write more books. We got to do
I agree.
more.
I agree.
We got
I
to
agree.
make more of an impression on our young people. We got to gather our young people in an organized way and have cultural events that they participate
They should.
in. Okay?
They should.
And I didn't even mention, and I'm proud of myself because usually I bitch about this, we have to have organized trips to send our young people to
What's wrong with that?
Italy.
Because that's how you're gonna learn
That's the
the
number
real-
one.
yeah,
That's
I
the
agree with that.
number one thing.
You know why? Because just same thing that happened to your
May
friend.
I show this coaster? Look at this
Yeah.
coaster. This is beautiful. The whole time I'm holding this because it's just so
I'm
beautiful.
glad you love my
These are
love
made
it
by
all.
branding.
These are made in Italy too.
It's all about
It'll probably last 2,000 years now.
Mr. Frank. It's
Oh,
all-
I don't know.
Mr.
Oh, I
French-
think the made in Italy scratched off. I don't see it, but
Miss-
I think they are.
Mr. Francesco, it's all about branding, and that's what we got to do with Italian culture too, We got
That's
to
a good
brand
point.
it. It is.
That's
It
a
is.
really good point because that's
It
like a
is.
newer word that an old guy like
Yeah,
me wouldn't even
that
know.
branding.
But you're right.
Yeah.
That's what
we
we got-
need more of you. We need more podcasts, keeping it real.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
telling
that's all good, but we got to
You
have
know?
people like you and you with this
So-
younger thing that you're right. That word right there,
Yeah.
branding a product.
Yes.
The Italian American community.
You see me, people know I'm Italian. Like, I'm not hiding it. My car has a plate that identifies I'm from Italy. What I drive identifies where I'm from Italy. Everybody will know. Like, and I'm proud of it, you know?
God, I love that branding, and we got this.
Yeah,
What we got to do. That's what we got to do.
We're gonna
because
brand it,
I'll tell you
Frankie.
right now, we have to do something to sell this better.
Exactly.
Because
we're not selling it.
every year that goes by, it's like we're farther in the hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just really afraid that, like, you know, the 25 years down the road, I don't know what'll be left. And I don't want that. And I'll be honest, I don't think I'll be alive 25 years from now. So
God
that's
bless,
why I
but
think
still.
I'm kind of like going
Yeah.
so fast because I
full
feel
force,
like
yeah.
because time is wasting and we got to do. So I love that. And you know what? This was awesome. But I mean, let's put our
We
heads
should-
together.
we should.
Because
Brainstorm
we
more.
got to get to these younger
know.
people. That's the
I
key.
agree.
That's the
I
key.
agree.
I want everyone to come. I want
I agree.
a 65-year-old that says,
That's fine.
you know, I don't know one word in Italian,
That's
but I
fine.
want to learn.
Yeah.
Please, let's
Nothing
do
wrong
it.
with that, yeah.
Let's do
but
it.
I love the idea about the trips because if they go to back home and they see the original where they're from, it'll be they'll come back completely different person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people,
Completely different
they feel like, well, if I'm gonna go, I want to go here because
No,
Italy,
forget about it.
there's about 5,000 places to go. I'm like,
No.
you're never gonna see everything.
No.
Just go one place, go two.
Right.
Then if you want to go back, you go back. If you like it, then you go back. Like you'll never see everything.
Whatever. Go see those towns where your parents are from.
Yeah,
Rent
yeah.
a car, then visit a little bit around. Have a good time. You know.
You know what I always say?
Eat.
Every Italian American should go to Italy once in their life.
Oh, they have
And if
to.
at the very least, if you have 9 days free, because I get it, everybody, it's a fast-paced world, go see where the family comes from.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes.
Go to Rome.
Absolutely. I
And
agree.
that's it.
You have
If
to
you
go to
could
Rome.
do that,
You have to go to Rome.
you
I
accomplish
think if you
something.
just get on the plane and go, you're gonna be you're gonna regret you're not going, then you're gonna regret going.
And if you really want to do it in a good way, that off-season trip, the price is cheaper.
Yeah.
There's no tourists.
Sometimes.
If you're not caring about the summer and going to the beach, which that 9 days you're not,
Yeah.
go off-season. It's cheap. It's
Well,
more
you could-
accessible to get around, and you will not regret it. I guarantee it.
No,
Guarantee it.
no,
I agree.
No.
I agree.
No.
So more of that, more ideas, more brainstorming.
More.
And we
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah, say it.
To show you how when life just goes and you don't know, and like I say,
Something
when you
you-
get older, and I had a long life of
Yeah.
of a Chicago diner.
Okay.
That was how I fed the kids, okay? And my father started this place, and I kept it going. And
Can you say the name, Frank? Or?
sure. Jerry's Grill, corner of Montrose and Western.
Nice.
So many people go, Jerry's Grill. I was there in the middle of the night when I was
Everybody.
drunk. Jerry's. It was an amazing
24/7.
ride, an amazing experience. It taught me, you know what I told somebody? I told the superintendent of the high school where I'm on the school board. I said, I got a PhD in people.
I love it.
Because you run a diner and
Yeah.
you dealt with bums,
Yeah.
homeless,
all kind of.
judges,
Yeah.
important people, everybody. I treat them all the same.
Yeah.
Treat them with
That's
respect.
huge, man.
and it just taught me so much. And it
huge.
was great, Jerry's Grill. But from Jerry's Grill and post Jerry's Grill, when I started doing the podcast, I was still at Jerry's when I did
Yeah.
the podcast. But from the podcast and, you know, my days at Casa Italia Library and all these people writing and going to all these IA Literati events, I wrote a couple of children's books. Now, I don't even know where this came from.
Wow.
And, you
Get
know,
an
I
author
wrote the
here.
first book, and it's kind of like this imaginary tale of,
Okay.
you know, inanimate objects. But from there, I did a second, and it had an Italian theme.
Wow.
And I started to like that. And now I wrote a third. We didn't make it yet.
Okay.
But with an Italian theme of like this little introduction to little children about. So the second book, because the teddy bear is called Teddy Bianco because he has a white
Yeah,
teddy
yeah,
bear.
yeah.
So the book is called Teddy Bianco
Teddy
Goes
Bianco.
to Italy.
Nice.
And it's different parts of Italy. I'll have words translated, just this little introduction, because how many books out there are for the young Italian American
Not that
little
many.
child? Not many.
Not that many.
So now the third book
So
is
it
going
would
to be called
it would be in English with some
in
Italian,
English,
Italian stuff.
and it'll have maybe a
Okay.
word translated.
Okay.
Just a little
I like
introduction.
that. I
It's
like
on
that.
Amazon.
Yeah,
It's on my
on Amazon.
website. You can go
Okay.
right to my website and find it. But so now the third book is called Nonno's Magical Garden.
Wow.
It's all about a garden and just once again,
What about if I could give a little, my branding
Please.
ideas?
please.
You should put it on YouTube. Like a lot of these kids, believe it or not, 10 and below.
You
I
can,
have little
I have
kids.
somebody read it on YouTube.
They're all on YouTube. Something with the images.
See, I
passing
don't know
by,
these things 'cause
and
I'm
they're
too-
reading on YouTube, or it's like an Audible, whatever it is. It's kids' attention. They don't pick up a lot of books anymore.
You are right.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. That's
I
a
think you
great
could do good.
suggestion. I appreciate it. And it's just like I'm saying, it's amazing where you go with things.
Yeah.
Right now, at the Casa Italia Library, we are working on a second edition of Italian Women in Chicago book.
Wow.
The first book was done about 12 years ago.
Italian women?
Italian women
I got
in
a couple
Chicago.
buddies that are looking for Italian women. So
Well, no, it's not a dating site.
It's not eHarmony.
No, it's like 40 different stories, and it was really interesting. And we're doing a second volume, and I'm writing 3 different stories, and it's like I'm not a writer. I don't even know where all this stuff came from, but
Yeah.
it just shows you where life takes you.
But
It's
Frank,
amazing.
that's pretty impressive.
Thank you, thank you.
Got
But let me tell you
from your
something.
dad business, all
We
the
got
way
to
to,
do something now with
We
this
are.
branding.
You
I
like
like
it.
this.
Frank.
I can see where this is
like
going.
And anything
You
we
like
could do to help, that'd be great. I
you.
think
Yes.
before we sign up, do you, and then if you don't, if I don't know, this is just an idea. Do you want to go, like, let's start at Caputo, right? We're on North or on Grand Avenue. Now, what are your spots on your way up to Foster that you would, want to throw out there?
Oh,
Because
you
we
want
want,
a shout
we want to
out?
support business. We want to throw some shout
if
outs.
you want to give shout outs to any
Yeah.
business you want.
Okay,
from Harlem,
I mean,
guess
you start with
there's
Caputo's
many.
on Grand and
Yeah,
Harlem.
start from Caputo's.
There's nothing else like it.
No,
There's
no,
nothing else
no.
like it. It is a big
That's-
Italian supermarket with the most
Can I
authentic
say
products.
something? Yeah, they got the real prosciutto from Parma coming, the real mortadella, the real capicola.
Absolutely.
Not capicola. And from Italy. And
Yes.
and even the biscotti that I just bought.
And then we go up the
Then-
street.
And then if you go up the street, I mean, you have
You got Rivera.
You got Riviera.
you got well
Right.
before that we mentioned Ristorante Agostino.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
have
Agostino,
Giardino Bakery.
Yeah.
Yes, Giardino Bakery.
On the corner there,
Giardino
just
del
north.
Dolce.
Del Dolce, see,
Del
Giardino
Dolce.
del Dolce.
Del Dolce,
You have Luke's Beef, Italian American owner.
Luke's beef. Yeah, it's cool.
You
man.
have Riviera Italian
got
Foods
Riviera.
that makes their own sausage.
You
sells
got actually a
sandwiches.
mechanic shop across Luke's Beef. He's Italian.
Giovanni.
Italiano too.
Who specializes in body shop
Body
work.
work.
Body shop,
Body
yeah,
work
body
for a
work,
car.
too. Man, there's so many.
Absolutely. Yes. The bank across the street, Wintrust, the manager is an Italian American,
Italian
Mr.
guy.
Peter Volpe.
Yeah. The car wash, technically, he's half Italian too.
Okay, there
He's
you
half
go.
Sicilian.
There you go. You go to the right. You have Belmont Funeral Home on Belmont.
Wait.
You,
The white hen, no.
White Hen. White Hen went out about 20 years ago.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Go to, when I said to the right would be east, go west. You have Venus Travel, specializing, John Conena and the Conena family, Italian travel since I think 1968.
Wow.
The original Notoli and Son.
No, to
Farther west,
Belmont, yeah,
Mola di Body Club. Farther west. I know I'm going to forget places.
I know, it's sorry if
Going
we
north.
do.
No, going
Yeah.
north. You have Annabella
Annabella.
Dress Shop.
Yeah.
You have Piazza Italia, Pasta Fresh,
You got Piazzino.
Bartucci,
Yeah.
Little Italy's Gifts,
Yeah.
the future home of the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. Just north of there, LA Cafe. You get to Addison. Go down Addison East, you got Joseph Meats, a
Joseph
genuine butcher, a
Yes.
Sicilian butcher. You go west, you have La Campanina Coffee. We have a coffee maker here, and I'll tell you something, La Campanina Coffee
It's good.
is really damn good.
Then we got Santa Fada.
We have
Yeah.
the Società di Santa
That's it,
Fada.
yeah.
We have numerous Italian bars. We have the Cacamo Club that has a chapel. What's it called?
La Capella.
Like
Beato Giovanni.
We also
Beato
got a
Giovanni.
pizza place. Actually, it's Carlos' favorite. Mama Luna.
Mama Luna.
Mama
It's
Luna.
Carlos' favorite.
With a beautiful place. Yeah, great
right.
corner.
They got two
Yes.
spots. They got one here.
My
and
nephew
one
works
over
there.
Yes.
I might have to order Mama Luna tonight.
We have farther down where Addison and Forest Preserve Drive cross St. Francis Borgia Church that
Yes.
has Italian masses
Shout out to where my kids
through
go.
the Italian Catholic Federation
Yes.
number 392 Chicago chapter. You go back to Harlem, going north, we have XR Realty. We have Bar San Francesco. We have going west on Irving Park, Palermo Bakery. Holy crap, what a bakery.
Yeah, yeah. Cecilia Bakery. We go in Cumberland.
Cecilia Bakery.
going straight,
We have, oh my God, Cumberland Avenue. You got Pronto Cafe, Bella Cafe,
Yeah.
Lisa's
Yeah.
Cabaret Club.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just tons of Italians over there. I mean, I'm not kidding. This is
Yeah.
amazing. You
Pretty
have on Harlem, you will have Roccovino.
Roccovino.
Oh, we
Cucina
forgot
Biagio.
Forno Rosso.
Forno Rosso.
Forno Rosso right here.
Yeah,
We have Ivana Di Piero Hair
yeah.
Studio
Can't
since
forget that.
1991 on the corner of Harlem and Wilson. We have going north, Notoli.
Another
Notoli
yeah.
Deli.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Cucina
and
Biagio around the corner.
Cucina Biagio,
Cafe
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio Cafe, yeah.
You name it.
You name it, and I'm
it.
forgetting 30
And
places
we're
because they
forgetting
just
stuff, yeah.
said this off the cuff. So,
Yeah.
an amazing area.
And technically, even Portillo's, I say it's Italian. So I'll take that.
I have no idea why you just said that.
Yeah, we're against Greg. We're
We're
talking
right
about
there.
change. There's
I know.
Portillo's all over.
And he
it's-
wasn't Italian.
And it's owned by Berkshire now. Okay.
But
Berkshire.
even Dick Portillo was.
That's what I'm saying. The original.
He's not Italian.
The original guy is
Ooh,
Am I
Portillo.
mistake?
Portillo.
oh, it's Portillo.
Oh.
I'm gonna Google
I
it.
think you're wrong.
Gentlemen,
Maybe I'm wrong.
do
I'm
not
sorry.
screw with
I'm wrong.
Frankie
Wait,
D.
I'm not screwing with Frankie D.
Dick
I'm wrong.
Portillo
Okay, I'm wrong.
opened a little shack in 1963 in Villa Park.
We're cutting that off. No, Frank knows. Frank, it's like
I could be
he's
wrong.
He's like a historic.
I think
guy.
it's
He would know.
Joe Portillo was the original.
Dick. I thought that was.
Dick Portillo.
He's right. He's right.
Well, I think that's a wrap, guys. I know Frank mentioned about 100 places. We probably left out another 100, but
It was nice.
it was nice for you to like at least. Sometimes we just forget because we're so used to driving up and down the street, and how many places there really are that are still around. So yeah, it wasn't what it was maybe 40 years ago. Just like any other neighborhood wasn't what it was 40 years ago.
And I want to say one thing. Not only we're honored that you're here, we're really, really thankful what you do for the community because it takes a lot of hard work and time, and you're probably I'm positive 90% of it is for free. So
And anything we could do to help out, let us know.
Yeah.
You know.
I think 100%.
100%.
I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, of course it's 100%.
So I don't even know, but yeah. So and that's
Yeah.
a lot. That's a
I'll
lot.
be honest, and it's not.
everybody-
I'm not trying to pat
No.
myself on the back or nothing.
No.
But I mean, I do it because I want to do it.
Yeah, that's huge.
Nobody's putting a gun to my head. It's like everything in life. Nobody's forcing you to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I'm happy to do
That's
it.
huge.
You know, at times I get a little frustrated, I get a little
Yeah.
discouraged.
Yeah.
And I say this, and this transcends any field, any desire. Don't let one or two people discourage you from
It's true.
doing what you want to do.
I agree.
Because in your heart of hearts, if this is for, the masses, forget the one or two people. Because in everything in life, there will be one or two that try to bring you down.
It's true.
Don't let them bring you down.
Wise words, Francesco. Grazie per venire e per stare qua.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for the opportunity, and all the best of luck to you, and may you flourish in this location for 100 years.
All right, and we'll do it again. We'll do it again soon. All right, everybody. We'll
All right,
see you
guys.
next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.